This is KHQA Overtime with Chris Dewar. Brought to you by Con Communications. This is KHQA. It's your news now.
And this is Saturday, January the 31st, and you have entered overtime on this hugest of TV weekends. You know what I'm talking about. Tomorrow night, we get some closure on Mary's choice of beaux and find out if that ill-mannered Miss Bunting has wormed her way further into Tom's heart on Downton Abbey. And if that's not to your liking, I believe the Peacock Network is showing some kind of Katy Perry concert. So let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. In the calm before the storm, the KHQA sports team was hard at work for you, gathering all manner of wrestling and high school and college basketball highlights for your enjoyment so you can kick back and enjoy all the festivities over all that milk and Wonder Bread you needlessly hoarded today at the stores. Let us start Quincy University. A thriller today down in Springfield against Drury. Great start from Marty Bell's team. Evan McGaffey setting the tone down low with the take. Remember this name, though. Cameron Bundy tried to get his team back. Great jump shot from the middle. He had 23 points in the day. Herm Seymour and company, though, doing work in the first half, staking the Hawks in this one to a 42-28 lead at the half. However, in the second half, Cameron Adams and company come all the way back. The Hawks struggling to score. Drury was not. Down the stretch, how about a Jamil Jones bucket to try to get QU reestablished? Here's the deal. Godson Inagwe, with 1.6 seconds left, hits a miracle three-pointer to give QU an 88-87 apparent victory. Drury gets one last shot to shoot one. Cameron Bundy hits a 40-footer as time expires to break the Hawks' heart. 90-88 is how it finished. You will probably see that shot on ESPN SportsCenter. If not, you can go to the Drury website. They have all the highlight landmarks, so we can't show it to you, but they have it there. Go take a look at it. It's an amazing shot and a tough way for Quincy University to lose. Meanwhile, John Wood at home today taking on Danville area. Paxton Harmon and company, boy, they were good today at the expense of Danville. Harmon with the quick, fast start in this one. His jumper, as usual, flawless. Knocks that down, and he's not done, not by a long shot. Mr. Harmon again off the feed for Mr. Johnson. Oh, he can knock down the three-pointer, former KHQA Player of the Year. And then it is the creator, Jordan Johnson, doing some more work in this one. Looking for Andrew Howard, who comes wide open. Great take right there. John Wood on a great run early as Mr. Johnson does it of his own accord right here. 11-4 early, and then Willie Drake doing some spinning, making some things happen. Aspiring broadcast journalist. And he's going to be a good one. He's also a really good basketball player right here with the spinorama move and the little scoop, bucket, band-aid, and a three-point play. Big day for Brody Gronwald as well. He had 20. The aforementioned Mr. Paxton Harmon had 15. John Wood with a nice win today. 20-15 was your final. Over in Jacksonville, McMurray looking for its 8th straight victory today at the expense of the Gorlocks of Webster, and sole possession if they could get it of the Sliak Penthouse. Tight contest early. Mac relying on inside presence, courtesy of Clayton Whitlock, who had 22 points on the day. At the other end, though, my man having some problems with dunking. Okay, you missed the first one, you go up. Oh, no. Just bad stuff. That was a bad omen to come for the Gorlocks. Good news, though, for McMurray. How about Colton Keatner from the outside with 3 of his 15 on the day? It would be McMurray taking its first lead at that point. Looking for more. Dylan Guthrie, the pride of Winchester West Central. Nice bucket for him. He was also creating really well today. 5 dimes, all of them spectacular, like this one inside to Hunter Sutton. And all of a sudden, McMurray had the lead. They're not going to relinquish. They just kept building. Huge crescendo into the second half. Alex Bott to beat the shot clock. Are you kidding me? When shots like that start falling, you know it's your day. Up 5 at this point. They're going to extend and turn this thing into a blowout. More from Mr. Sutton right there. The pump fake, underutilized and very good. And then Sutton turning defense into offense at the other end, dropping the hammer down as McMurray wins big. Undefeated in the month of January, 91-65 was your final in that ball game. Elsewhere on the day today, Illinois College picks up another big win, and Cody Hildebrand, who we featured for you earlier this week, had 17 points. What a freshman year he's having in helping the Blue Boys beat Cornell today. Also, Culver Stockton beaten by Mid-American Nazarene today. HLG a win against Benedictine Springfield in that one. Tony Artisan with 20 points to lead his team to victory. How about the QU women riding that big 7-game win streak today into Drury? Drury 9-1 in conference play. Ultimate litmus test. There were some good moments for the Hawks in this one. Annika Webster knocking down the outside jump shot. Carly Beebe had a big day scoring. She was also really on point with her passing right here, hooking up with Maggie Cunningham. Cunningham didn't score a lot, but she was prominent in our highlights early in this one, as again, it's Cunningham, this time from distance, knocking down the three. But Drury just way too good in this ball game. Got lots of answers. Shelby White among them as well today. She had a monster day. Alice Hensler had a monster day. Drury shows why they are just so darn good and so darn respected in this conference. 74-55 your final as QU's win streak comes snapping to a halt. How about the John Wood women at home today taking on nationally ranked Danville? This might have been the best game of a really good day of games. John Wood down double digits early in the second. They would chip into the lead. Amanda Scott doing her thing. Then it's right here. It's going to be Hannah Reller. She's fierce. Little defense from her. This is her game. Gets it ahead, throws it up to Miss Scott, who's going to finish and finish nicely. Amanda Scott had a big day. More on that in a second. John Wood now, after trailing big, down just 3. Gracie Luce going to tie this thing up and force overtime with a long-range jumper. 69-67 Danville. Shea O'Brien gives John Wood the lead, firing from what is only described as Shea O'Brien range. Good stuff there. Maddie Whitaker going to work the floater in the lane as well. Danville, though, had the last possession in this game. They score a bucket with 0.8 seconds left to break John Wood's heart. I told you, a day of exciting college basketball. Final in this one, 77-75 in favor of Danville area in overtime. Other women's scores to pass along to you on this day. Culver Stockton in a heartbreaker to nationally ranked Mid-American Nazarene, 79-76 career highs today for Lara Kubinski as she had 22 points and 13 rebounds. And this is a strange score. We don't get to call one of these very often. 2-0, the HLG women knock off Benedictine Springfield because of a forfeit today. So HLG picks up the win without any effort there whatsoever. Western Illinois women trying to make it 3 straight. They're at home today. You're looking at Camp Point Central alum Shane Bennett, who was working this game as an official. J.D. Gravina obviously wants to talk to the officials because he's just that kind of gregarious guy. Actually, he was not happy early. This young lady, part of the reason why. Camilla Carter, unstoppable as she knocks down that. 2 over 20 points in the day. Ashley Luke with the only bucket late in the first half for her team as they saw a lead dissipate. Actually, the Leathernecks trailed 30-27 at the half. Far more reason in the second half to be crazy in love for the Leatherneck fans, though. Tori Neiman gives it up right here to Sophie Reichelt, who had a big day in this one. Nice jumper for her. She's not done. Number 44 making her presence felt in the blocks today. Great take right here. Great finish as well as she hits the fadeaway jumper. All of a sudden, some traction for the Leathernecks in this game. 3-pointers finally start falling in the second half. Michelle Farrow first. Michelle Maher second. I'll tell you what, Western Illinois with a quality win today at home over Fort Wayne. Good one for them. They end up winning this game by the final count. Not listed on there. Sorry, we'll get you the final count in just a second. Apparently the computer didn't enter that tonight. Our apologies. Let's talk a little bit high school girls action today, or let's start with the boys, if we will. Quincy Notre Dame on the road gets its first win in the Bruce Bonas interim era, knocking off Ridgewood today 63-53. Austin Ritter with 18 points in that ball game. Nationally ranked Quincy Homeschool Saints, winners of one today against nationally ranked competition, beating the Northwest Indy crew 72-53. Ben Kasula, the sniper, with 29 points in that ball game. Unfortunately for the Saints, they drop a rare loss in the second game to the number 4 team in the nation. That is the Indianapolis Wildcats. Chris Hickman's 16 points go to waste in that effort. Championship game today of the Beardstown tournament. Beardstown taking on Carrollton. That is Cody Leonard, future Quincy University middle linebacker. Alex Schultz from Beardstown, gunner. Really nice player. Had a really nice week. Early on in this one, Luke Palin, who is also headed to Quincy University as a defensive back, shows off the jumper right there. And then it is Cody Leonard doing his thing. Very mobile. You see why he hits running backs, and they stay hit right there, going coast to coast with the jumper there. Beardstown, though, giving no quarter in this game. Dante McWilliams, he's got the long-range game. Heck of a soccer player as well. There's nothing really this kid can't do. Great 3 for him. Then Paul Schultz working the baseline and the jumper. I told you, Beardstown going to give Carrollton all they could handle in this game. And then all of a sudden, it was beast mode time from Cody Leonard. And quite frankly, there aren't many high school kids. Heck, there are a few grown men who can stop this kid when he gets on the block. Great stuff from Leonard as Carrollton gets the win over Beardstown 48-42. We also have some highlights for you of the 7th place game today. Fear the Beard, Tyler Crum working his mastery in this game as Rushville Industry took on Greenview. Manning Plater doing Manning Plater type things. Monster in the post. You're not going to back him down later. Colton Scheiber coming free down low. Tell you what, Greenville did a horrible job Greenview, I should say, did a horrible job of keeping him checked. Later in this one, more from Manning Plater coming down the baseline. Great take for him as well. 17-9 start for the Rockets in this game. They're really never going to look back as Beck Harris works the baseline, gives his team the lead for good in this one. All Rushville Industry over Greenview today for 7th place in that tournament. 49-27 was your final. Elsewhere in the Beardstown tournament, with South Fulton taking 3rd place. It's a nice win. I kind of like that South Fulton team. We saw them against Canton, Missouri earlier this year. They were pretty darn good. 59-51 today over North Green, and Midwest Central blows out Triopia today in the 5th place game. How about the Fort Madison Bloodhounds, state ranked and rolling right now, taking on Clark County today. Tall order for the Indians. They've got some young and athletic bodies. Maybe they could try to check Fort Madison a little bit. Bryson Abbey. Oh, it's downtown Abbey again for him. The steal and the pass to Mr. Miles Wensine for the easy lay-in. Dunk that big fella. We need the highlights. More from Miles in transition this time. The dish to Curtis Richardson. 15-4 run for the Hounds to start this thing. They're not going to look back, but Clark County, really a scrappy young team. Zeb Riney with a solid night. The runner is good for him in the lane. Like his game. That's a lot of like herky-jerky, non-conventional moves that set him up nicely. When seen right here inside to the big fella, Grant Holtkamp, and from that point on, Fort Madison going to hit the hammer on the accelerator. When seen, look at the no-look pass to David Nagel tonight, who had 20 points and was hitting three-pointers like mad. More on that in a second. First of all, a little Wensine in transition. Another big night for him. 29 last night, 25 tonight. He's also going to be your Student Athlete of the Week on Wednesday and showing up at the KHQA Superfan Shootout to play Q&D on Saturday. Busy week for him. Oh, look at David Nagel. 6 3-pointers tonight of his 20 points. Great stuff from him, as it would be Fort Madison getting the win yet again, this time by 30. 69-39 was your final. Finally tonight, we want to give you some fun from the Bowling Green tournament today. Sorry we couldn't get back down there today. We're a little concerned about the weather. So unfortunately, it didn't work out for us that way. Worked out well for Bowling Green, however, as they knocked off Clopton in the championship game, 47-36, nice 11-point win. Kerry Bibb doing a heck of a job for the Bobcats this season, one of the great underrated coaches in our area. 3rd place game to Louisiana as they beat Ellsbury 58-50. Kendon Chapman with a big night there. And we are just getting warmed up here on Overtime. I promised you Quincy High highlights last night. They finally came in late, about midnight last night after double overtime. You can see the Blue Devils' big win over Rocky coming up next.
You're watching KHQA Overtime with Chris Dewar. Brought to you by Con Communications.
And welcome back to Overtime, everybody. Where, as irony would have it, double overtime last night kept our good friends in the Quad Cities in television from being able to get us the highlights of Quincy High's upset thriller over 10th-ranked Rock Island in time for sports final. Round about midnight, they actually finally showed up. So here they are now for your viewing pleasure, and congratulations, Blue Devils. Great start in this one for Quincy High School. It would be Cameron Gay kind of firing things up in a great first half as the Blue Devils would lead by 10 at the half. Taking out of the 4th quarter, Rocky starts putting things together. Quincy High can't score at this point. Jason Jones with a 3-pointer for the Rocks at that point. Down the stretch, Lincoln LB with a chance to tie this thing up. One free throw will do it at the end of regulation. Clutch right there as he knocks it down, forces overtime. 50-all at this point. Rocky getting the and one right here from D'Angelo Hicks. We go to a second overtime, and Quincy High School goes nuts, scoring on 8 straight possessions. You talk about clutch. Jacob Jobe from outside knocks down that 3 in the possession, and then it's Mike Dade. Quicker than a hiccup in this one. Going to come away with this one. Oh, wow. He had a nice lay-in at the other end as well. All Blue Devils down the stretch, and that's a huge win for them. Congratulations to Andy Douglas and company. 72-67 in double overtime was your final score. Let's do some scores on the girls' side tonight. Not a huge docket, but I think an important one. A quality loss. You know, you don't want to say that against smaller competition, but Burlington Notre Dame is the #1 team in the state. They are giftedly talented. We've got a Quincy University recruit on the roster. Keokuk gave them all they could handle tonight. 80-82 was your final. Paige Cavon with 22 in a losing cause there. The Liberty girls have 20 wins. I don't feel like we've talked about this team near enough. What a great season they're starting to put together. Got a chance to watch them, what was it, Thursday night? Really run well in transition, playing great team, share the basketball. Fun to watch. Nice win for them, a team we should start keeping a better eye on, everybody, because they're playing really well right now. Also today, another team who's playing pretty darn well, Central Southeastern, with all that young talent, beats Griggsville Perry today, 42-23. Don't know how the Illini West losses work against them in the state rankings. This is a team that's probably due to crack a top 10 in the state. Again, a team that beat an outlier team earlier this season over at the State Farm Classic. So you talk about a Central Southeastern team that's really dangerous. They are it. And one more for you on the girls' side, actually two more for you on the girls' side. Pittsfield Pleasant Hill, a winner today in a squeaker over Hannibal, 41-39, and Quincy Notre Dame doing likewise today, a squeaker over Rock Island, 66-63 was your final there. It's wrestling in the Gem City, 106-pound semifinals today at the Q&D Invitational. Q&D's Ashton Myers applying unrelenting pressure to Porta's Joe Burris. Eventually gets a hold of that right shoulder here, lifts the head, tilts for the pin. Ashton Myers would win his weight class at 106 today. 113, you're looking at the Frosh, Brett Hamill. He's really good. Cradles John Quinn into a pin right there. He too would go on to win a 113-pound championship today. He would beat this guy, Pittsfield's Joel Cook. You're checking him out in the semifinals. Catches the leg of Blake Brassfield right here. Slips the torso out right there as well for the takedown at that point. More from Mr. Cook. Brassfield wrestled him pretty well. Cook is really good though. Peels off the hold right there. Frees the leg for the escape point and wins this one 11-2 to punch that ticket to take on Brett Hamill, which he eventually lost. We'll continue with the highlights in this one. 120 pounds today. Great day continue with the highlights if we can. Devin Beeston, really good day today, amassing a huge lead on, I guess we're going to start these highlights over. Okay, we'll do it again for you. Sorry about that, guys, but I want to get these wrestling highlights in. Ashton Myers, as you see right here, taking on Joe Burris. Again, as I mentioned at 106, Ashton Myers was your champion today of the event. 113 pounds. Again, this is Brett Hamill, who would be your eventual champion. He is just a freshman with the cradle on John Quinn here into the pinfall, as you see there. Eventually goes on to beat Joel Cook, who you will see here catch the leg right here of Blake Brassfield, slip the torso, and then get the takedown, eventually building his way to some momentum. Later it's Cook on the defensive, escaping the hold of Mr. Brassfield, who wrestled pretty well today, still just up against a sort of a buzzsaw on Mr. Cook. And that's an 11-2 win right there. We're going to continue with these highlights now. Good day for Devin Beeston of West Hancock as well. Probably the best I've ever seen him wrestle. Amassing a huge lead on Ethan DG here from Camp Point Central for back points early, and then with the throw of the gods coming up right here. Probably sensational seven-worthy for this young man who would go on to win the 120-pound championship today. Really powerful stuff from him. Check out the strength right there. That throw right into a pin. Beeston, just like I said, really, really good today in winning the 120-pound championship. We're going to 126 pounds now. Q&D Zach Haley would open his day in the quarterfinals with a clinic at the expense of Hayden Osmond right here. When he finishes walking his way to the head with the legs, forces a pinfall, and Jack Haley would earn his way eventually later in the day into the 126-pound championship. That's sort of a fool's errand, unfortunately. As good as Zach Haley is, he would end up drawing Will Lucy, who's as good as it gets, undefeated in the state, ranked fourth. I think came into the day 29-0. I think he's now 31-0. Will Lucy right here. We're going to start you off with Will Lucy in the quarterfinals, a little takedown action, and then again, unrelenting chest presser for him, getting the 3 back points. But Will working it one way. This is what's great about Will Lucy. He has just a real sense about what his opponent's going to do and where the weak spots are, and it's sort of just innate with him as he takes his man the other direction and pins him right there. Just classic Will Lucy stuff. That was Will Lucy in the quarterfinals. Got highlights of Will in the semifinals as well against Gabe Castillo right here, as you see. This for the chance to go on to the championship against Zach Haley. Lucy just showing his speed with the quick takedown right there. Then he's going to go for the double leg as well in just a minute. It's just a torturous set of maneuvers. There's the double leg from Will. Just really, really good as Mr. Will Lucy wins the championship as well, helping West Hancock to a third-place team finish. Other local champions today at the Q&D Invitational. Now we go to the graphics if we can. They included Grant Brown of Macomb, who won at 220 pounds. Anthony Holmes of Pittsfield, kind of a surprise winner, who's really kind of blossoming nicely at 285 pounds in the heavyweight division. Colton Haynes, who you know is good from Beardstown, winning at 170. And Stephen Huffman, who made a nice run through the bracket at 152. Congratulations to all of those gentlemen. Also today, Quincy High School, wrestling in the Western Big Six. A win today over Alleman. A loss to a really good Moline team, 59-15. A loss to Rocky today by the Blue Devils. And then a win today over East Moline, 48-21 was your final there. Also, big day at the Southeast Iowa Challenge today for Keokuk and for Fort Madison. Champions Day included Brant O'Shea and Dakota Shaw from Keokuk. Dakota Shaw still undefeated, but the biggest day for Keokuk came from Cam. What a day for him as he finally beat the Mertens kid out of Mount Pleasant. That is a quality win and a great victory for Cam. So great job, buddy. Great win at 126 for him. As Keokuk finishes third as a team, Fort Madison finishes fourth as a team. Fort Madison's only champion on the day was Mr. Harlan Steffensmeyer, the freshman, at 106, but also a good showing today from Tanner Hawker. in second place today, and Chase Sini, who is really good as well, in third place there as well. And now coming up for you, your Burris Hybrids, Seeds of Greatness. We're going to talk a little bit about the fun being had today in the 8th grade 3A quarterfinal regionals. I want to spotlight some of the up-and-coming basketball players at 8th grade you're going to start hearing about. Unity advances on today in the quarterfinals, beating Rushville Industry 37-35. Cole Schaefer with 11 points there. And Beardstown today, a winner over Pittsfield to advance as well, 53-17. Great day for Pascal. I'm not going to even try the last name, but I tell you what, Pascal's going to be good, so I'm going to learn it, and we're going to get really good at it really soon. And we'll have more overtime for you coming up after this. Con Communication Connections time, your last one of the month as we have voting starting on Monday, and it is courtesy of Mr. Joseph Myers from one of the best highlight producing teams in our area, Griggsville Perry. This is an unlikely assist for Mr. Riley Bradshaw, because I don't think this is what he intended, but when you were as long and bouncy, for lack of a better word, almost like a Tigger in this one. And Tiggers are a wonderful thing. Great stuff from Joseph Myers right there. As he finishes that up, that's just pretty. That kid can play in the post a little bit. So there you have it, the 5th of our 5 nominees from the month of January. And if you've forgotten the first few, let me give those to you now. They include Nate Palmer, who had a just sensational pass for Illini West. Also had Mr. Parker Bland from Quincy High School with his big dunk. And the great alley-oop from Quincy University earlier this month. So all of that stuff up and out there for your voting perusal. It will be fun to see who wins at the end of the month. Start voting on Monday. And remember, just by voting, you make yourself eligible for a great prize package from Con Communication by random drawing. Obviously, Herm Senor, Godson Inagwe, really just an outstanding slam dunk earlier this month as well. Like I said, great stuff. I wouldn't have to choose. I wish you well in doing so. And by the way, I promised you a Western Illinois final score because I didn't give that to you earlier. I want to tell you what that is, and then we'll get to Luke Guthrie in a second. The Leathernecks tonight, the women, I should say, ended up winning 59-55. That was the final number against Fort Wayne. Couldn't remember it off the top of my head to save my soul today. Finally today, happy birthday to Quincy's own Luke Guthrie, playing in Phoenix today at the Waste Management Phoenix Open. What a way to celebrate today. Luke fired a 1 under 70 today. He ends up 12 strokes back, is currently constituted, tied for 52nd place, but he's going to make some money on the weekend, so good for Luke. Good for us. We'll have more overtime for you coming up after this. Okay, I've restrained myself long enough, as you have seen from the commercials. KHQA Subway Country Financial Superfan Shootout. It's a lot to say, but worth it. Week is finally upon us. We've got 12 big games coming up Friday and Saturday. Previews starting on Monday of all the festivities. Going to be a fun week. Hope to see you out there. But for now, jabronis, enjoy the wrestling.